Hi, everyone. I'm Jacob Vanderwerf. I'm one of the admissions counselors here at Whitworth University. Um, and I'm here to share with you a little bit about residence halls here. Everyone who's on this call or joining is a Whitworth student. So super excited for all you. Glad you're going to be here on campus next year. But yeah, I'm an admissions counselor here. I work with students from Montana, Spokane Valley. Um, and Southwest Washington. So if you're from those areas, you've probably gotten a lot of emails from me or calls from me. So love it. Super excited you'll be here soon. But yeah, before we dive in, I'm going to have the other panelists, the current students on this webinar, introduce themselves. So Jamie, could I have you introduce yourself first? You could share maybe your name, where you're from, and what grade you're in, and what you're studying.
Yeah, of course. Hey there, everyone. My name is Jamie. I am a first year here at Whitworth. I am currently studying as a bio major. I am from Kent, Washington. So I saw one of you guys in the chat was saying that you're from Covington. So it's about 10 minutes from me, is about where I'm at. And I'm here in Errant Hall, is what I'll talk about today.
Thanks, Jamie. Isaac, you want to share or introduce yourself next?
Yeah, like you said, my name is Isaac. I am a junior here at Whitworth. I'm studying elementary education and theology. I'm from Bellingham, Washington, originally. So over on the west side, I saw a couple Skagit Valley people. Um, but yeah, I'm here and representing Baldwin Jenkins today.
Great. Danat, you want to introduce yourself next?
Hi, my name's Dana. I'm a first year studying nursing. I lived in Colorado majority of my life, but I just graduated from Burlington, so also from the west side, and I'm in Ballard.
Thanks, Danat. Megan, you want to introduce yourself next?
Yeah, hi everyone. My name's Megan. I graduated from Whitworth in 2023, studied business, and now I work in our admissions office as one of our campus visit coordinators. So you may have seen me if you've come on any tours or visits or things like that. But I'm here tonight to represent Warren Hall because none of these lovely students on this call have probably ever even been inside Warren. It's been closed for a little bit, but recently refreshed and opened for this coming year. So I'm super excited to tell you guys a little bit more about it.
Thanks, Megan. Then Medi, could I have you introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Medi. I'm from Kennewick, Washington, so Tri-Cities area. I'm a freshman here at Whitworth, and I'm studying business management.
Awesome. Luke?
Hey, I'm Luke Lewis. I'm from Spokane, and then I'm now in Colbert. I am a junior studying computer science and with a minor in art and design, and I'm going to be talking about Macmillan.
Great. And then last but not least, Isabella?
Yeah, I'm Bella. I am in Oliver, but I'm from the west side. I saw someone was from Snohomish. I'm from Bothell. And I'm studying health science with a pre-occupational therapy minor.
Great. Thank you all for introducing yourselves. Before we get into things, just a few housekeeping items. If any of you have questions as we go throughout today, any of the people, any students who are on this webinar, if you have questions throughout today, please drop those in the Q&A function. So if you go to like the little Zoom bar at the bottom of your screen, click on the three dots. There's an option that pops up with Q&A. If you drop your questions there, that's super helpful to us. Just a little easier for us to organize those and see what questions you're asking and make sure we can get those answered for you. So we'll have some Q&A time at the end. Additionally, if you want to see some of this information again or share it with a friend who's coming to Whitworth, we're recording all of this and we'll post it to YouTube. And then if you're having any tech issues, let us know, drop a comment or something, and we'll make sure to try to help you out. But thank you all for joining today. Okay, so first I'm going to go a little overview of residence life and what's provided for you. So you're going to be moving into Whitworth this fall. What's provided for you? Every single room is going to have these things. So you're going to get a twin bed, frame in the mattress. No need to bring your own bed from home. We've got a bed for you. Every residence hall also has a dresser, a desk, and a chair. So there's always a spot for you to do your homework or hang out, and then a spot to store your clothes. Along with that, we've got a closet or wardrobe for you too. And then every residence hall has laundry facilities. There's a small charge for doing laundry on campus, but it's super convenient to have those right in your building. Every one of the residence halls has that. So you know you're going to have those things that are provided. And then if you see that QR code on the bottom, feel free to scan that. That's an online web page that shares a little bit more about like what should you bring to campus. And there's also like what do you not need to bring. And that's all super helpful as you're coming to college, working with your roommate, deciding who needs to bring what and all that good stuff. So for residence hall selection, if you go into your Whitworth app status page, which the link is right here, it's whitworth.edu/app-status. If you go to that, that is how to sign up for which residence hall you want to live in, that housing preference form. So you go to the enrollment checklist, fill out the housing preference form. Once you fill that out the first time, your spot in line is saved for your residence hall. But if you want to go in and make any adjustments, if you hear something today that's really exciting to you, or you realize, oh, actually, I'm really excited about Oliver now, or I'm really excited about Warren. I hadn't even heard about this residence hall. I'm excited to live there. You can go in and adjust that at any time, and it still saves your spot from when you first submitted it. So you can go make changes at any time. If you find someone who you want to be roommates with, you can go put that information in, and it will save your spot. So feel free to change that anytime up until the form is due. And that housing preference form is actually due on May 18th. So you've got 5 days. Go ahead and make changes as much as you want until then. And then finally, I just covered this, but next steps, make sure to fill out your housing preference form by May 18. And then roommate assignments will be coming out in mid-June. So you can kind of be expecting those then. And then once a little as the summer goes on, you can start packing, planning what to pack. I know not everyone's going to be planning to pack on June 30th, but if you're a last minute packer, you can be packing up on September 4th. But sometimes it's nice to plan ahead, especially with a big move like college. What do you need to bring? What are some items you want to connect with your roommate on to decide what to have there? But officially moving is September 5th. So you'll be able to move in on that day. We'll have another residence hall we'll have another webinar later this summer talking about move-in, what orientation will look like, and all that stuff. So be looking for that in the future. And then if you still have questions, check out our Residence Life page. You can scan that QR code below, and it has more information, more pictures of the residence halls, all that good stuff. What to bring, what not to bring, and always reach out to us in admissions. We're here to help. We're here to be a resource. So if you have any questions, you can ask now in the Q&A or send a message to your admissions counselor, and we'd love to connect with you. All right, so that's all the presentation I have. Now we're going to share some images of the residence halls and have students talk about that. So first, I'm going to switch over here, share my screen somewhere else. But Jamie, we'll have you talk about Aaron. And sorry, I'm going to switch it back to the lounge here. All right, Jamie, take it away.
All right, sweet. So as Jacob wonderfully introduced, I'm going to talk about Aaron. So as you see here, this is on the first floor. So as you walk in the front door, you turn the corner just to the right, and then kind of where Jacob's mouse is right there, that's the entrance to the lounge, or at least the main entrance there. In the back left corner, you can see a piano, and so there's a lot of piano players, and so you're able to pursue some musical hobbies in Aaron. There's also quite a few table games, as you can see here. We have pool, and there's foosball, and there's also table tennis as well. So there's really not a lot of there's not a lack of social activities to do. Aaron, I think, is one of the more social halls. So it's pretty easy to make friends here, and it's pretty easy to meet new people. As you can see back in the corner as well, there is another piano as well. But over where Jacob's mouse is, there's a community kitchen. So if you want to use a community microwave, or if you want to cook something on the stovetop or use an oven, or maybe you need the sink or a fridge for something. There are all community just kitchenette resources there for you to use that you're not going to be bringing your own oven, nor does Whitworth ever want you to in that case, but you do have that available to you. And then kind of scrolling back a little bit as well, I'm pretty sure all the residence halls have this in common, but you have just a nice little lounge area there with multiple different couches. Again, just kind of adding to the chill vibe, if you will. And it's I've seen many people play card games down there. I've seen people study together, have conversations down there. It's a really social place. And then one other thing I will say as well, what you can't see in this photo is in the white wall behind it, there is kind of a TV room, if you will. And so we call that, I think we call that the Gator Pit. And that's pretty much a time where a lot of people will go in for like movie nights, or maybe they're gonna get together and go play a bigger board game in there where there's a bit more space. And so that's another thing that Aaron has to offer, which is pretty cool. All right, and then moving into the actual room. So this is a pretty good view of what a typical room looks like. So starting over here on this left wall, there's really not too much to highlight about the room. It's a pretty basic dorm. There's tile flooring, so the tile is nice because if you make a spill or something, it's very simple to clean up. But the room is it's a nice wide square room. There's plenty of space in the middle with more than enough room to put your things against the wall or to hang things on the wall. Yeah, I don't really know that there's too much to talk about the room. There's nothing really too fancy about it, but as Jacob said in the intro, you do get your basic things like you get a wardrobe, you get a desk, you get a chair, you get a twin XL bed. You'll also get the dresser and yeah. And then, of course, the windows are nice too because you're able to open them up. So if you want like fresh air or cool air, or if you want to increase or dim the amount of light in your room, you can do that.
And JB, one of the biggest benefits of Errand is the location, right? You're pretty centrally located to quite a few things.
Very much so. And that's one of the things that I really like about Errand. So Errand is the closest residence hall to the hub and a lot of the other academic buildings. So while other people in maybe Oliver or Baldwin Jenkins might have to do a little bit of a longer walk to go get breakfast or to get to their classes, Errand, I kid you not, I don't think I spend more than a minute walking to my classes because it's just so centrally located. I do want to highlight one other thing as well. So as a first year, I had the privilege of being on the honors floor, and the honors floor is the top part of Errand, and that is only reserved for first year students. And so if you were accepted into the honors program and you want to consider doing the honors program, I would highly recommend the honors floor. That way you come in here and you come in here, and when you live on the third floor, everyone on this floor is an honors student and everyone is a first year. So that way, right off the bat, everyone here has something in common, which allows you to make friends really easily. And the honors floor, I will say, I think is one of the more social floors for sure. So if that's a big thing for you and just being able to make friends a lot easier, I would highly look into the honors floor.
Awesome. Thank you, Jamie. Super helpful. Next, Isaac will head to Baldwin Jenkins.
Yes. All right. So you're looking right now at the lounge of Baldwin Jenkins. See a pretty centrally located fire pit there with the classic couches around it. On the far left, on the Baldwin side, you have your classic pool table, ping pong. Foosball will be in the back right corner, where as Jacob goes along, you'll be able to see like kind of our movie room area. There's like these sliding walls that you can slide. You can see them kind of coiled up there that you can really kind of black out that section. So we have a lot of prime times in there, watching a lot of movies. We had like a VeggieTales prime time there the other night during finals week, so that was fun. Yeah, this is definitely the main hangout in Baldwin Jenkins, which is the only like all freshman dorm. And so if you're looking to live with a lot of first years, get to meet a ton of people, BJ is perfect for that. Definitely one of the most social dorms. You'll have people out in the lounge all hours of the night, not necessarily being loud or disruptive, but if you're ever looking to have like a random conversation at like 11 p.m. midnight, like BJ is the res hall for that. Technically they're separated, Baldwin and Jenkins, like which side of the building, but it's all definitely one BJ culture. Each side, Baldwin and Jenkins, also has a basement where the laundry rooms are located. And those basements are also great like meeting places for like Bible studies or study sessions. They're also a great place, like if you turn off all the lights, close all the blinds, play a lot of Mafia games down there. That's definitely one of the perks of living in BJ. But yeah.
Love it. Thanks, Isaac. I would guess most people on this webinar know, but you can explain just a little bit about what prime time is.
Yes, absolutely. So prime times occur 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. every single night. And so your RAs and CMCs and sometimes your senators, so basically the student leaders in the res hall, will put on an activity in like the main lounge that is welcome activities. But sometimes it could be simple card games like Monopoly Deal or Uno or something like that. Sometimes it's more involved. Like I've had a couple RAs put on like full karaoke nights, full like Among Us nights, or like real life Mafia nights. And so they're fully optional, but especially early on in the year, that's a great way to just go hang out in the lounge, meet a ton of new people. And your RAs and student leaders put a lot of effort into them. And so you can show up for 15 minutes, show up for the full 2 hours, but there's never any pressure to attend. But there's one every night in every single residence hall. And so that's one of the perks of Whitworth, is just it's an incredible way of meeting a ton of people every night. But yeah, all right. So we're now looking at inside of the rooms of BJ. What BJ comes with is a little less like movable compared to like Errand, where you can kind of set up the arrangement of Errand. BJ, a lot of it is built into the wall, and so inside the door on the left or the right, you'll have your closets, which are pretty fairly sized. You'll have 2 large shelves at the top, along with a couple drawers on the bottom, and then a rack for hanging. And then you'll have the 2 desks in the corner that are kind of combined. You'll have a ton of drawer space in them. And then you'll have a variety of shelves. The shelves and like the slide mirror is one of my favorite aspects of BJ. That's not really in any other residence hall. And so those are some great cubby space for, like you see, a lot of decor, hats, books, but also great storage space for food, cereal, like variety of activities, or variety of things that you might need in your dorm. You can see here, the beds are bunkable. That does kind of change the layout, gives you a little bit more room to work with. I know there's a couple guys in BJ right now that have done this, and they have the couch and the TV setup. That is a classic move. The alternative, if you don't want to bunk your beds, you just have your beds like next to each other, back to back, along that wall. And so you'd have to take out the couch and stuff, but you're often able to fit your dresser underneath your bed. And so definitely smaller, I would say, in like terms of square space than Errand or some of the other res halls, but it's honestly pretty well laid out, and it's a very cozy feel, and plenty of wall space for all the posters and flags that you might need. And so it's just, yeah, it's an absolute blast to live in BJ. Definitely a great res hall to have like the open door policy to meet a ton of people, especially on those early months. And so, yeah, if you want to meet a ton of first years, live in a high energy environment, yeah, would highly recommend living in Baldwin Jenkins.
Thanks, Isaac. Next, we'll head to Ballard with Danat.
Okay, so this is our like first floor lounge and kitchen area. Where that couch and tables are, there is now a pool table, so it's definitely more lively now. Nowadays, there's a lot of people playing pool there and stuff. And then the kitchen's nice. It's a kitchen. A lot of times, one of our RAs will make brownies there for her prime time. So it's really nice to see all the different things people are cooking. And then this second lounge is where our prime times are held. And I'd say the prime times are really fun in Ballard, because like when they're in here, that's like doing something chill. Like you'll do activities. Last time we did we did like decorated jars and we got to paint them, and there was chocolate covered strawberries. So a lot of our prime times always have like snacks with them too. We also have a fireplace and a piano, and a lot of times you'll hear a lot of people playing them, so it's really cool. And we've got a foosball table if you want to play that as well. So yeah, our first floor is pretty lively nowadays with the pool table and stuff too. So that's nice. And then, well, here's the rooms. Me and my roommate, we also have the same setup as how like our dressers are under our beds because we had a walk-in closet, so that first came in there and we just thought it'd be better to have it under the bed, which is a nice lot of room. There's a lot of wall space for like whatever decorations you want and stuff. And the tile floors are really nice because it's very easy to clean up any type of mess you have. The windows have pretty great views. I live on the second floor, so my window is towards the football field. So it's really nice because it's like you can just have it open. It's not like anyone can really like see you or anything either. And the closets have a lot of room as well. These ones are different than I have. Mine are like on the wall walk-in closet, but yeah, there's a lot of room.
Thanks, Danat. I love you highlighting the food at prime time. That
Yes.
is definitely a highlight for sure.
Oh, we also do our Wednesday prime times with Mac where it's milk and cookies at 11 p.m. So those are really fun too. Really good, nice midnight snack.
Sweet. Thank you.
Mhm.
Next we'll head to Warren with Megan.
Awesome. All right. Well, like I said at the beginning, Warren just got a fun refresh. So this is what it looked like a few years ago. It's still set up the same, but there's new carpets and the walls have been painted. It looks super nice in there. I just got to pop in the other day and see it, but you can expect new furniture in the lounge. This is our first year lounge or our first floor lounge, but we have lounges on each of the floors in Warren. Um, all of them are super cozy. This one's always super lively, though. So there are different table games that Jacob passed earlier. There's always going to be people in this room pretty much all hours of the day. And then there is a different lounge kind of towards the entrance to the building, and that's where most of our prime times get held. So you can kind of see it right where Jacob's cursor is through there. There's a second little lounge in the entryway, and a lot of the prime times will happen right there because then it's like right by the door. You can't really avoid it on the way to the room, so you would get like pulled into prime times. Isaac mentioned that they're totally optional, and that's still true, but they're also very accessible and they're in a very easy to find spot. The lounges on the second and third floor are both smaller than this, but still like really cozy with fun furniture. My roommates and I, we grabbed like a pretty cheap, one of my neighbors had a pretty cheap like projector that we would do movie nights with in the upstairs lounges. And so we would kind of just like go steal the lounge and a weeknight and watch movies all the time. So that was our like go-to lounge that we would steal because it was pretty quiet up there. The laundry rooms are in the basement. The basement, there are two different basements, two different laundry rooms. These are not good meetup spots for Bible studies and things like that, but you probably could get a pretty good Mafia game out of the Warren basement. I like to joke that I thought it was haunted. My second year, I lived on the third floor of Warren, and then to get all the way down to the basement, there's obviously a lot of stairs involved, and I think I genuinely was in the best shape of my life from going all the way down there to do laundry and coming back up. But Warren's super fun. It's got a really fun personality. I love the location on campus too. You're kind of set in between like the music building and the loop and the football field. And so you have kind of prime views. And if you're a music student or if you're a dance student or an athlete or somebody that needs to be on that side of campus, it's such a great location. Okay. I love the Warren rooms. I a little bit wish that my roommate and I had gotten our room into one of these photos because ours was even cuter than this one is. But I love the Warren rooms. They're so fun. My roommate and I lofted our beds kind of like these ones are, and then we got like the Target little like 2x3 cube storage things that we put underneath our beds, and there was perfect room for that. We kept our hampers and stuff under our beds. The little windowsill we had pretty much covered in plants, and then the furniture over here is all built in, so the closet space and your little mirror is built in, but there's a ton of storage. I feel like we never really filled it all the way. Like we were pretty well set as far as clothing goes and stuff like that. The little upper cupboards up there were super nice for additional storage that we didn't need to get to all the time. The mirrors had really good bathroom storage where we could keep all of our like makeup and stuff like that in there. And then the desks are just your basic desk. But I think the Warren rooms are great. There's a lot of space in them, honestly. People set them up differently, but there's always like a lot of options. And my roommate and I would go through phases where like it would hit like 11 p.m. and we'd be like, let's reorganize our room and move all of our furniture around. And I'm sure we were probably really obnoxious for our downstairs neighbors because we were like moving desks and beds around so that we could have a different layout, but it's a super fun place to live.
Thanks, Megan. Next, we'll have Medi talking about Duval.
Yeah, so this is Duval. This is the second floor lounge. So this is where all the prime times are held. Prime times in Duval are kind of all over the place. Sometimes they range from like giant pillow fights to like silent study sessions. So it just depends on which RA is on it that night. And sometimes like tonight, I think it's dodgeball in the UREC. So yeah, it's not even limited to the dorm. And right outside these windows, we have a big old sand volleyball court and a big grass area where people love to play spike ball and just lay out in the sun and stuff like that. To be honest, not a lot of people hang out in the second floor lounge. There's a lot more people in the first floor and third and fourth floor. And the fourth floor is where the movie room is. But on the second floor here is where the kitchen is, just a little bit further over to the right. So they're pretty typically people in there cooking or baking or whatever. And there's a pretty big fridge in there too that not a lot of people use. So you can capitalize on that and just keep your stuff in there. And yeah, there's a piano in there too. I think there's also a piano on the first and fourth floor. So yeah, pretty good range of stuff in the lounge in Duval. And then this is a pretty typical room. One thing about the Duval rooms is they have really tall ceilings. So you got a lot of room to hang up lights or flags or posters or whatever. And yeah, pretty typical. You got your dressers, desks, bed, and your wardrobes. Yeah, and a lot of people loft their bed like that too and put their dresser underneath it for more space. And then you have space for like a mini fridge or whatever other storage compartment you want to have in your room. And then the special thing about Duval is that it's not just a room in a hallway, it's a pod layout. So you kind of, when you're out in the main lounge, you open the door, but it doesn't go straight into a bedroom. It goes into a pod, is what we call it. So it's like a little mini living room. And then you have your own bathroom. And they range from 3 to 5 rooms per pod. So, and with that too, you get to clean your own bathroom. So some people view that as a positive, some people view that as a negative. I personally view it as a positive because when you're the one that cleans it, you tend to keep it a little bit cleaner anyway. And then if you don't like how clean it is, then you're the one that gets to clean it. So you can just clean it right then and there. So yeah, I love living in Duval because it also, like, you're just really close to the people next to you because you get to live in that pod area. So you share your little living room area. Me and my pod mates actually bought a TV. So we're just out there on the couches all the time, watching movies, watching shows, studying together. And yeah.
And that's the big difference between like Duval and the other residence halls first years can live in, right, Medi? Is that you got that pod style and you also get your own bathroom, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Totally. So yeah, most of the residence hall are 2 people in their own like room. But with Duval, it's 2 people in a room and then two people in another room, and two people in another room, and two people in another room, and then they share a community space in their own bathroom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Maddie. That's wonderful. Next, we'll go to Luke in McMillan.
All right. Oh, wow, this is an old photo. Okay. So a lot has changed since this was taken. But yeah, this is the McMillan Kitchen Lounge. Just right off the bat, where the Jesus Loves Spokane, there's now a large flat screen TV.
Well,
Yeah.
Jesus still loves Spokane.
Yes, of course, of course. Yeah, so this is one of the two lounges on the first floor. Um, yeah, so usually prime times will be held in the other lounge, but in this one, every Wednesday night you'll have the Ballard and McMillan Senator making cookies, and I personally run an event that's just called BMAC Game Night, where we all gather in front of the TV and we play games on my console. And yeah, so the piano, a lot of people are music majors and they like, it's often rare to not find someone at the piano. But yeah, we still got that giant smiley face, except for it's more up on the wall now. But yeah, we recently just got new furniture, and yeah, the space as a whole has improved a lot since this photo was taken. But this is one of the three main lounges that we have. The second floor lounge, we've got a foosball table, we've got several study tables. It's a massive open space, and that's where we usually host our event, Milk and Cookies, which Donat mentioned. Basically, every Wednesday at 11 p.m., everyone's gathered upstairs on the second floor, and we sing this song. We quote, eat cookies, drink milk, and be merry. It's just an awesome experience. The dorm as a whole is smaller than I think the other dorms. Part of that is just the size of the building. The original McMillan. So when Whitworth University started, this was the only building, and so everything was within here. So every room is going to be unique, because your room probably was a science lab at some point or a math study room. And yeah, a lot has changed since the place was first built, but it's a really awesome space to be in.
Yeah, Luke, do you want to highlight some of the connection between, did not talked about this a little bit, but the connection between McMillan and Ballard and kind of that community aspect there?
Yeah, sure. So McMillan is a male-only dorm. Ballard is a female-only dorm. Which room is this? Oh, this is the this I know which room this is. This is the third floor room that is currently occupied by the RAs. But all third floor rooms, they have a built-in closet. All the other floors, you will have a standing wardrobe. But yeah, everything else is the same besides the closets. Um, but yeah, yeah, the rooms on the third floor usually have awesome views. Um, and they're highly sought after in the community. But excuse me. But yeah, so even though the two dorms are like gender exclusive, we are a joint community. So every other prime time is going to be in one building, so it alternates. So if on Monday there's a prime time in Ballard, Tuesday the prime time is going to be in McMillan. And I think this dorm, McMillan and BMAC, are the two. They have the biggest history. We have traditions dating as far back as when the university started. So tons of culture, tons of history and traditions, and we love to host a ton of fun events like 30-person Nerf wars in the lounge areas of the dorm. We have a massive like LARPing event where we all like have foam swords and we're battling it out in front of McMillan. It's a ton of fun and just really rich community.
Thanks, Luke. I've heard McMillan and Ballard kind of described as almost living at a summer camp. Do you feel like that's true with how many activities are going on and stuff?
Yeah, there's usually so much going on. I've run multiple events this year. Some other people have as well. There's like oftentimes on a Friday, you will have three different events going on. You'll have the prime time, the quad event, which is a four-person room, um, where they just have like water polo or Jackbox night or um movie night or you name it. But there's always something happening, and there's really never a dull moment going on in BMAC.
Thanks, Luke. All right, final residence hall we're showing today. We've got Bella with Oliver.
Yeah, my roommate's in the room, so she was like, "Ooh." Yeah, so this is Oliver in juxtaposition to Mac being one of the oldest buildings. Oliver is the newest building. I kind of call it the ski lodge because on the outside it's like this like triangle look. So yeah, so this is the first floor lounge. There's like a ping pong table. You can't see it, but there's a piano in that corner. Yeah, it's like in the back right corner. Yeah, you can see the piano bench. There's like it's cool. There's like patios outside of Oliver. That side there has a grill. I don't know if anyone's ever used it, but it has a grill. And then on the left you have the kitchen. And it's really nice because you can rent out like cabinets to store some of your cooking supplies in. So my friend has like a frying pan and like some other utensils. So we've gone down there and like used them without having to store them in our room, which was really nice. What about Oliver? It's really large. I feel like there's a lot of people that like I've met, and then also people that I'm like, oh, I didn't know you lived here. So it's cool. Like I feel like I get to see someone new, like all the time. What's cool about the first and second floor lounge is that they're kind of connected. So you can actually like talk to people from the second floor lounge and like yell down into the first floor. So sometimes what I've done is if we're playing a board game or something on the second story, I've like seen someone I know and I'm like, hey, you should come play with us or something like that. So that's been super cool, just the way that the building is built. Yeah, so you have your prime times. It's like based on like where the camera's rotating, that's where your prime times are. And so it's fun because like you can walk up the stairs, and I kind of like talk to the people sometimes as I'm walking up the stairs because I'm super busy. So I'm not really able to always make the prime times, but I kind of like chat for a little bit as I'm walking up the stairs. So it's like I haven't committed, but I can like socialize with the people there. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So this is an Oliver room. I feel like this is usually I'm in a triple, so it's kind of a little different. But I feel like usually it is like kind of this parallel vibe of like each person has one half of it. And it's nice to have like the carpet there. It kind of is a little bit like I like the vibe of the carpet a little bit more than linoleum personally. Like I take my shoes off in here, like I have like slippers and stuff versus I felt like I had to wear my shoes more in like the other dorms with the linoleum. Um, yeah, I think of other things to say. We do have a communal bathroom, but I feel like most of the people in Oliver are pretty friendly. At least from my experience being in Oliver, it has been a lot of upperclassmen, so it is a little bit quieter in Oliver. But I found that really nice because I've taken a lot of hard classes this semester, and so or this year, and so having kind of like a quieter environment. I'm on the third floor, so not as many people come. More people come up here to study, if anything, and so I feel like it's been a nice environment to be like, okay, when I come back to the room, it's not like super loud or anything, but there's definitely like a social aspect of like some people do play board games up here. There's a pool table on the third floor. The prime times are super fun, and like we have the movie room over there, and so a lot of times people watch movies, or like the CMCs and the senators will like put on an event. And the way that again the lounges are set up is it's very like I can talk to people in passing, so like I don't feel like I have to commit to an event to be able to socialize, but also like I can still have a little bit of it. Yeah, and again, like Duval, our ceilings are pretty high. So I've been able to like put a lot of my posters up and like my larger posters up. And yeah, I guess that's what I have to say about Oliver.
Awesome. Thanks, Isabella. That wraps up our tour day residence halls at Whitworth. Now we'll dive into a few of the questions before we get out of here. But thank you for the people who have already asked some questions. Yeah, keep dropping those in the Q&A. First one here. Do student athletes all live in the same residence hall? Any one of you guys can answer.
You said it's student athletes?
Mm-hmm.
No, they don't. They all live wherever they decide. Actually in Ballard we have two soccer girls who live here, but I know like all their friends live in various dorms as well. So there's not like one dorm that's just for student athletes.
Yeah,
Yep,
spot on. Like,
I totally concur with that. There is no singular dorm that is this dorm is for student athletes. Like every dorm has athletes everywhere. I mean, uh, Aaron's on the second floor has a lot of the football guys, and I know on the first floor, at least here in Aaron, there's a couple swimming guys. And really, there is no one dorm that houses all the athletes. So, like wherever you go, you're gonna find athletes.
thanks, guys. Do all rooms have blinds of some sort? And then is there any way to like hang curtains or curtain rods or anything like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Every dorm I've seen, I think it's a requirement actually to have blinds. But yeah, like you can actually see mine. They're just they're these panel-based ones, and you have the adjustment things. I have seen a lot of people use like the across pole things on the inside so that they can get like blackout shades, basically with like a blanket or something. But yeah, everyone's got blinds.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
I would say. Oh, so was someone else going? Oh, I would say so. In both, I was in Aaron last year, but both of them, the blinds are like attached to the window. So if you want to like open the window, the blinds like go with it. It's like kind of hard to explain. Like you can't see it, but so it's kind of a little bit like difficult. So for my window like faces all the lampposts. So if I want to open the window at nighttime, I like can't close the blinds, so there's a little light. So I would definitely say like bringing like yeah I think the crossbar is called a suspension rod, bringing like a suspension rod and like curtains just in case if like you find out that your window is like either facing the way that the sun rises or facing the lampposts, because it can get really hot in the dorms, and so like sometimes the only way to like, cool it down is to have your window open at night. But then like if you can't sleep with, I can't really sleep with light shining through the windows, so I don't even have one, so I regret not bringing that. So I would definitely bring something just in case if you need to open the window, but also need the blinds at the same time.
This isn't a question that was asked, but I feel like it would be helpful, and you kind of reminded me of it, Bella. Which of your guys' residence halls have air conditioning? Because Warren is one that does not. So one of my like best tips if you're living in Warren is to bring a fan because during the summer months it can get kind of toasty in those rooms. But I know some res halls do have air conditioning. So remind me which ones do.
McMillan
I
does
believe
not.
I believe Duval does. It does, but it still gets a little bit stuffy. So my roommate and I do still have a fan in the room just to keep things circulating, but it does have AC.
Yeah, Aaron does not have AC, so yeah, we don't have AC, so it does get toasty in here sometimes.
Yeah, Ballard also doesn't have an AC, so in the summertime me and my roommate just turned on both of our fans.
Yeah, BJ as well does not, but definitely fans and an open window makes it work.
Yeah, there's
Oliver
kind of a
does have
science
AC.
to it.
Yeah, Oliver does have AC, but there's like, correct me if I'm wrong, Medi, but I think that Duval rooms have AC. It has AC in the rooms. That's what I've been told, but I don't know if that's true. Yeah, so Oliver doesn't have AC in the rooms. It's only AC like in the lounges. So definitely like I would bring a fan. Just yeah, again to keep the air like circulating.
And yeah, so I think only Oliver and Duval do, at least for first year students, have the air conditioning. But the good thing about college is that most of it's during the winter, especially in Spokane. So like the first few weeks can be a little tough for some people, but you bring a fan, you crack the window. Spokane, another cool thing about Spokane is it really does cool off overnight. So usually the temperatures get down to easily into the 50s each night, even during the summer. which is fantastic. So it cools off overnight. But then yeah, during the day it can definitely get warm. So bring a fan. But then I don't know if you guys kind of experienced this, is at least what I've heard. There's no lack for heat in the winter. Like the residence halls are always kept really warm. So you don't need to worry about like bringing a space heater or something like that. Sweet. Okay. Um, Another question. Could you each maybe, and maybe I'll just ask you each what it's like. I'll go around. But what's the bathroom situation like? Jamie, you want to start? Bathrooms and Aaron, what's it like?
Yeah, so bathrooms and errands. It's a community bathroom, so everyone. I guess I should highlight this. Picture if you were to picture errand. Errand is essentially one giant rectangle, and then if you were to split that rectangle right down the middle, you have the west side and you have the east side. So everyone on the west side on the same floor shares a bathroom. So, for instance, for me, everyone on the third floor on the west side shares the bathroom, and that's to split it from male and female sides. Um, and so, when it comes to the bathroom situation, there are I'm sorry guys, but there's no urinals. They're all stalls. But the bathroom really isn't too bad. There's good storage for like your shower caddy. You have a whole line of sinks going down, so you're not really going to have a problem finding a spot to do your hygiene or to do your makeup or anything like that. The only thing that I'm a little iffy on are the showers. The showers are a little weird. Um, uh, because they're via a curtain system. So instead of like actual what's the word like hard stalls between each shower, they're mainly curtains, so you close one curtain, close another one, and have the wall shield you. That's really the only complaint that I have about the bathroom, but uh all in all, like it's really not a terrible bathroom.
Isaac, what the bathrooms like in Baldwin Jenkins?
Yeah, yeah. So we have one for the first Baldwin side, one for the first Jenkins side, and then one on each of the second floor for the girls. But yeah, it's your classic five shower stalls. They do have like the hard dividers, and then there's like 10 sinks, five on one side, five on the other side, and then there are like five bathroom stalls, pretty spread out. And then each bathroom also comes with the automatic like the hand warmer, air blow dryer kind of thing. And then yeah, there's a whole wall full of racks for your shower caddy. So yeah, pretty spacious, plenty of room. And then outside of Duval, which I think is the only res hall that you have to clean on your own, we have some incredible cleaners here that always come through and they're cleaning every day, every week. And so, yeah, the bathroom's always in really great shape.
Thanks, Isaac. Denat, what would you say about Ballard?
Well, we're all an all-girl dorm, so you don't have to like worry about other stuff, I guess. But we have like a bathroom on each floor, and each floor looks different. And we're not that big of a dorm hall, so they're not really like a bunch of stalls. So for the second floor, we have four sinks, four stalls, and then another room of the showers, which there's four shower stalls as well. Um, and yeah, there's like storage for like your cut, like there's like little cubbies for your shower caddies, and each bathroom stall has a curtain. So it's pretty good.
Megan, what would you say about Warren?
You guys, it's been a lot of years since I've lived in Warren. It's your typical, like, your whole floor will share a bathroom. So Warren's basically split up into three different wings, and each floor on each wing will share a bathroom. So it ends up being like around 20 students that are sharing the bathroom, and it's the same, like multiple stalls on one side, multiple shower stalls on the other. When I was living there, one of the bathrooms had a bathtub, and that idea really grossed me out. I don't know how long that's been there, how many people have been in it. I don't know that it still exists now that Warren's been refreshed, so I don't know for sure that you'll have a bathtub, but showers, storage for your shower caddies, and then sinks and stalls. I will say though that like I never once had like a situation where there were all of the stalls or all of the showers full. Like it was pretty like easy to shower or go to the bathroom when you needed to.
Maddie, you talked a little bit about the bathrooms already in Duval. Anything to add?
Yeah, I'll just say, each pod is a different size. So some of them have 3 rooms, and then some of them have 4, and some of them have 5. So I live in a pod that only has 3 rooms. So in my bathroom, there's 2 sinks, 2 stalls, and 2 showers. But I believe the bigger pods have more stalls and more showers. And the way the cleaning works is we do clean it ourselves, and we kind of rotate like week by week. So each set of roommates goes like 1 week at a time. So you just like you have the week and you get to clean it whichever day works best for you.
Thanks. Luke McMillan.
Yeah, so each floor has its own community bathroom. What you can expect from those is I think every floor has 2 bathroom stalls, and then the first and second have urinals. The every basically what it looks like, you walk in, there's the sinks, and then behind them, like in the reflection, you can see the bathroom stalls, and then behind that wall where the sinks are is where the showers are. There are up to 4 showers per bathroom. The first floor does still have a tub, but I've never seen anyone use it for a tub, just a shower. But yeah, it's basic community showers. There is for both Ballard and McMillan a guest bathroom or like a single bathroom. If you have like a medical thing that you need to address or whatnot, that's available for you just if you need a more private experience. But yeah, so basic on each floor.
Finally, Bella, what would you say about Oliver's bathrooms?
Yeah, it's pretty like your standard, as we talked about, like standard communal bathroom. I honestly don't really have that much to add, except for, I think I don't think any bathroom has it, but like a paper towel dispenser. Like I was really surprised by that when I came to Whitworth, or I could probably college in general. But like, so definitely like bring a hand towel. I don't know. I maybe that was a given. I didn't, so I had to go out and buy one. But one thing I will say about the bathrooms is it's a really good way to meet people. I definitely will say that I've had really there. I dare I say I've been more social in the bathroom than like some of the events. So it's a good place to like meet people, honestly.
I love that. That's the perks of communal bathrooms in college, right? One other thing to note, this isn't bathroom related, but residence halls are generally split up between males and females or guys and girls every other floor. All right. A few quicker questions, and then we'll get people out of here pretty soon. Want to respect everyone's time. But to someone who moved from the west side of Washington to the east side of Washington, want to explain kind of what's the weather change like?
Yeah, in my oh, sorry. In my
Yeah.
transition, I just view it as kind of more extremes. Like the colder days are definitely colder, the warmer days are warmer. But overall, it was not a huge adjustment. I would just say the summer and winters are more extreme. But you can't expect less rain, so maybe you'll miss the rain, but I'm sure it'll be still there on the west side when you go back home. But just a little bit more hotter hots and then colder colds.
Yeah,
Anyone have anything to
definitely.
go ahead?
Yeah, there's definitely more snow here than there is on the west side, and it like actually stays. And then yeah, in the summer it's way warmer as well.
Thanks, guys. Does anyone know if there's a cost for lofting the beds, or do you have to take care of that yourself?
There is not. Basically, you you can lift them up and put them together yourself. Um, if you are unable to do it yourself, there's definitely going to be people that are willing to help. I've helped 4 people so far this finals week take down their beds. So yeah, you can bunk them, you can change their height adjustment. There is no cost.
Thanks, Luke.
But
And
I don't
then
know if you saw the question in the chat that is about ranking the residence halls in terms of liveliness.
Yeah.
But I feel like that would be a fun one to answer. Maybe
Or
we
at least
start
a few of
with
you could
Isaac.
share like how lively you feel like your residence hall is compared to others. I think that's fun, or how sociable. A few people mentioned that.
Ballard is definitely like, if you are more introverted, I feel like Ballard's definitely the place to go. I have a lot of friends in BJ, so I spend quite some time there, and it's definitely a big change. But it's also nice because, like, oh, I'm feeling social, I'll go hang out in BJ, but then I'll come back and it's not like as lively, but it's very like it's quiet in a nice way. And during prime times, though, it does tend to get more lively. So I'd say Ballard's like on the lower end.
Yeah, like she said, BJ, I would think is probably number one in terms of liveliness and socialness. Aaron might be a close second just because it is a pretty heavy first year dorm, but the more first years it is, or there are, the livelier it'll be. So BJ is definitely.
I
Yeah,
agree that. Yeah, sorry, go
yeah,
ahead.
go ahead, Luke. You're good.
All right. I agree. I agree. BJ is by far the most lively dorm right now. But I would argue that Macmillan is actually second in that regard. So
Yeah, in my opinion, I would agree with Luke. BJ is definitely first in terms of liveliness. I would then go Macmillan, and then Aaron. I would go third, just because again we got a lot of first years here at Aaron's. What I will say though is the liveliness of the dorm is what you make it. So at least for me, I am more of an introvert, and so I don't. This is just a personal choice, but I don't attend every prime time. I like to be in my room alone every now and then and just be a little bit more to myself. But there are other people that it's their thing to go do every prime time or to socialize a ton with their friends. And so, really, how social your residence hall is what you make it. So, if you want to go out and you want to socialize 24/7, it's going to be pretty high in your social realm. But if you want to dial it back a little bit, like me, then that works too.
I have to disagree. I think Aaron is second, and then I think Mac is third. BJ's definitely first. Okay, because whenever I was an Aaron my first year, and then when I wandered into both those dorms, I feel like Aaron always has more people in it. So not that Mac isn't social, but I would say ranking wise, I think it goes BJ, Aaron, Mac. I would definitely say Oliver is pretty quiet. I think just the way that the housing works, like when you're choosing after your first year, there just ends up being a lot of upperclassmen in Oliver. Um, and so again, like we tend to take like harder classes and like fill up our schedules more. So there isn't as much free time to kind of just like randomly socialize and like for like unlimited amounts of time. But I'd say that Oliver, like I've had a lot of like good like passing conversations. I know like more people than I thought I would know in Oliver. Just like through prime times and like some events and yeah. So again, if you're looking for somewhere that's a little bit quieter and tends to have more upperclassmen and like the lounges are usually used more for studying, Oliver is a good place for that.
Yeah, and I'd say a similar thing for Duval too. It's just a lot less freshmen than in like Aaron and BJ. And because everybody's kind of in their own pod anyway, so there's a lot less socializing out in like the main lounges. But it's also not dead. Like there's still people out and about. Like you could still have conversations with random people.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Thank you for all the people who asked questions. If you still have more questions, reach out to your admissions counselor. We're going to end with each one of these students giving a piece of advice about residence life and living on campus. So, Jamie, you want to start us off?
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna make this a very, very basic piece of advice. Make your dorm yours. And that like I'm currently packing up to head home and I kind of want to throw up because of how just white it is. Uh, put posters up, put lights up, uh, get a potted plant or something like that. Make your dorm yours. Because that gives you just so much more comfort when you're here, and collab with your roommate too. I know I have really appreciated my roommates' input into the decor. So really make your dorm room yours, because it makes you feel like you're at home a lot more than just the blank wall.
Thanks, Jamie. Isaac?
Say yes to everything, especially early on. You're not gonna be able to sustain it, but go to the club fair, get involved, meet a ton of new people, and just go all in. Because it'll make your life a lot more enjoyable socially, but it'll also yeah, helps to establish those relationships early on. So
Thanks. Danat?
I think I would say like keep your door open, especially like in the beginning, first like few weeks and stuff. Me and my roommate would have our door open, and it's just like you can just talk to people more easily, and it's like easier to make friends and stuff. And I actually have some friends that we met because their door was open, and I saw something in their room and I complimented and stuff. So it's definitely gonna be easier to make friends that way.
Mehdi, what do you have to say?
I would say just get to know the people in the rooms next to you. Like when you're first moving in, first couple weeks, just like walk around, knock on doors, say, "Hi, what's your name?" Just get to know those people because that's going to be your community throughout the year.
Thanks. Luke?
I would just say you get back what you put in. The amount of people who I've interacted with who are like, man, I'm thinking about moving off campus. I just dorm living just isn't for me. And I'm like, well, have you interacted? No. Have you attended prime times? No. And so you gotta put yourself out there, and if you want to have like the experience that everyone talks about. And so you gotta put in what you want to get back.
Totally. Bella?
Mine's like really all these specific, also because everyone else took mine. But first, if you can do this, we don't have it set up right now. I would show you guys if we did, but it just didn't work for our room. But if it does work and like you're not, and I feel like there's like it's really difficult like trying to figure out like, oh, how you're gonna change. I feel like that was like a big thing I was trying to figure out when I was like rooming, because I love my roommate. I roomed with her for 2 years, but like still. So what we did is we like faced our closets like towards each other, so the doors like opened out in like into each other. And then so then what you could do is if they're up against the wall and then you have the closets facing each other, you can open the outside doors to make like a changing room. Anyway, yeah, because it was like hard to change in the communal bathrooms too. So if you're like trying to figure out like, oh, how am I going to change? But like my roommate's in here, you can just make a changing room by facing your closets towards each other. Or I guess, yeah, and then like opening the doors so they overlap and it creates a little space for you to change. That's
Sweet. Thanks, Bella. Well, thank you all so much for joining. Thanks to the students for being on and sharing your wisdom today. But yeah, like I mentioned earlier, if you have more questions for us, please reach out. I can connect you to one of these people on the call, or you can just ask the admissions counselors and we'd be happy to answer your questions. But yeah, thank you all, and we'll see you on campus this fall. Go Pirates.